Hey there, I'm Jennifer Bands, and today on Low Carb with Jennifer, I'm going to show you how to make these keto meatballs with bacon tomato sauce. Let's get started with these keto meatballs. They are super easy. I've got some easy hacks to help you make meatballs more quickly because I don't know about you, but making meatballs is not typically something that I want to do. But this is easy. We've got 2 pounds of ground beef. You can use whatever ground beef you want. And I'm going to add 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 1/3 cup of chopped fresh parsley, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 beaten eggs, 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. So now I hate mixing like the meat getting all in my fingernails, so I'm going to wear gloves because we're going to mix this up. It's really, I don't know, it's really difficult for me to mix up meat without using your hands. I'm going to take my watch off. I got my rings off. I mean, you could use a spatula, but I don't know, just use your hands. Just don't over mix this. You want to just mix it until you just want to mix it lightly, not do a bunch of smashing, because when you do a bunch of the meat, when you smash it a bunch, like instead of just like gently mixing it, you're going to make your meatballs really tough. So you want to just lightly mix it. And that was very easy to mix. It's also easy to get your meatballs mixed if you have your meat pulled apart first before you put all of the other ingredients in it. So now I can take my gloves off and I have clean hands. I've got my oven preheated to 400 and I've got a sheet tray lined with parchment paper. I've got a scoop. This is my little hack for making evenly sized meatballs. You just scoop out the mixture into the little scooper and put it on your sheet tray, and then we're gonna make them nicely into balls. But for now, we can just get all of the meat portioned out. And this recipe is perfect for, you could make all of this and then freeze half of the meatballs, because it does make quite a bit. Or you could cut the recipe in half if you don't want this many. And you could put gloves back on to roll your meatballs, but it's fine. I don't mind. I just don't like it all in my fingernails. So now we're gonna roll these into meatballs. Make sure they are very nicely, like they're gonna hold together and they're not gonna fall apart. So this makes about 16 to 18 meatballs, and now we're gonna bake them in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. They should be done. You want to check them with an instant read thermometer. Make sure they're 165 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature. Okay, we've got our meatballs out of the oven and they're perfectly cooked, perfectly browned. They look so good. So now I've got them in this big skillet so I can heat the sauce. I mean, you don't have to do this step. Well, you want to heat your sauce, of course. You could heat it in a saucepan and then just serve the meatballs with the sauce. But sometimes, you like to have the flavor of the meatballs in the sauce, or the flavor of the sauce in the meatballs. So I've got a 24-ounce jar of Raos marinara, and I'm just kind of like getting the meatballs all worked in. And you could also sprinkle some Parmesan cheese and call it good. But I like to add some cooked and crumbled bacon. Everything is better with bacon. So we've got 8 slices of bacon that we've cooked and crumbled, and I'm going to add that to the pan. Everything's better with bacon. Now look how good these meatballs look with our bacon tomato sauce. You guys are going to love this recipe. I would serve it with spaghetti squash. That is my favorite alternative to pasta. But I've also used like green beans. You can really just use any vegetable you want to make like keto spaghetti or spaghetti and meatballs. So experiment with what you use, put spaghetti sauce on, especially for, you know, picky eaters like who don't want to have different types of vegetables. So you can always experiment or just serve it just like this. You don't have to have a pasta, an alternative. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.